technical at the same time, you know.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, wow. So when somebody finds an exploit, the AI in the server is going to be trained to start looking for that kind of stuff and
potentially
alerting you. And yeah, that's cool, because there's going to be somebody that does it. Somebody is always looking for some kind of way to game the system, if you will.
Yeah. And I mean that's where it is. That's the news on the street for the Node holders, and we're gonna we'll do a press release to the guys through Discord over the next couple of days, just to give the details on what we're talking about there, and then what it actually means to the guys there. But like having the actual server for gaming, that would normally be an extra expense, and as a game grows, you need more and more servers, and also you need to know that these servers are going to be persistent. They're going to be a good uptime, and so the beauty of having the nodes being the servers, and that, like Fowler says, the decentralized. There's a reason between the node holders why you want to keep them running as well. It just sort of all makes sense for what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of making money while I'm playing, even making money while I'm sleeping, and could be playing and probably should be playing. I mean, all these years, we've all talked about it, Fowler and Matt and Steve, and we've talked to and Chris about playing games, and just like last week we talked about just putting tons and tons and tons of money into a game, and you're more than willing to do it because you get to buy X, you get to buy Y, this power up or whatever it is. And people are so more than willing to just there's a lot of people that are addicted to it, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, we don't want anybody to be
for
addicted
years
to it, but yeah, if I just buy this one more power up, I can, blow a bigger hole in Fowler next time we go toe to toe, that kind of thing. But Fowler's like, but if I spend a little bit more than Odie, then I can have that bigger shield, and then boom, it's gonna go right back in his face.
I got my advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, but do you have your player owned station, Fowler?
No, I don't.
Huh?
No,
I got my capital ship, so come for you, baby. Little Eve talk, and I'll jump straight to it. The lovely Mrs. Odinato with a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, hon. I must be doing well so far today. I haven't messed up because it is a $5. It's not 99 cents. So I'm doing something right so far, but you never know. Yeah. So Greek, for a second, when I was looking at in the background there, when you were standing right there, I couldn't tell if you were like at the outside of a barn or something like that. I'm like, what? I thought he was on vacation.
He's flipping burgers, is he? I don't know.
I'm
making some steaks.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'll be on the first flight over.
Yeah, and I'm sitting over here hungry for lunch. Just I could feel my stomach. And then when I saw Greek and saw what he was doing, I was like, I know he's making something, man. And it's going to be good. And it's going to piss me off.
Oh, it looks like paradise there. Nice.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, you deserve it.
As long as there's no drama in the DeFi space, I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, you look great down there. I mean, it looks like it's doing well for you, because when you came on, I was like, damn, look at him looking good in Florida.
Yeah, I got the nice tan, so I look better. It covers up all my imperfections. And
this are you going to give me a run for my money?
I'll try.
Not everybody can. I'm just saying. Being in Florida a couple of weeks ago, it's funny, Greek, you and I and our travel plans. Seems like Dubai's the only place that it ever worked out that we're in the same place at the same time, somewhere other than home. Because
that's true.
When I went to Michigan and Illinois last year on vacation with the family, you went to Florida like the day before I got there, if I remember the timing. And then what was it? The next time that I went out that direction, you were at Vegas, I think it was, something like that. So,
I was in Vegas.
And I was in Florida 2 weeks ago.
You were jealous.
And now I'm home and you're in Florida. Yeah, got to get our chronometers fixed here.
You're like ships in the night.
Yes, indeedy. But he's the better looking one. Stevie Summertime Breezy says, earbuds in, listening while working. Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. And Compton says Fowler can't handle me in Call of Duty. Ooh. Have you guys already played Call of Duty?
Is that a challenge,
trash.
Compton? Because I'll take you in Call of Duty, man. I spent the whole night playing it last night. I was like, killing all kinds of stuff.
Call of Duty, man. I can do that with my eyes closed.
Oh,
Actually, I have to say that Fowler is really good at Call of Duty.
In Call of Duty.
He's also really good at Apex Legends.
Oh, I'm decent. But now that I got this new graphics, I could probably be a champ. I could probably destroy this now. Oh man,
isn't Apex Legend that game that I played with you some months back and I totally sucked?
We were struggling out there.
I was trying to get up to what was it? You and Curtheus, you put that power thing on the ground so that it could give you like an elevator shoot up or whatever you want to call it.
Oh
and then for me, it was like getting an enema or electric enema or something because I couldn't get it right.
Yeah, that was actually really fun because I think that was where I was like blasting people with one shot to the head to like close range with a sniper rifle. Just because I was
have to play that again with you guys. I'll totally have to play that again with you guys soon. We should set up a play date and do that on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Man. Me and Cruz gotta link back up some gaming. We've been kind of like busy. But...
Oh yeah.
We'll set up a bigger challenge, We'll have to get the Cosmic Force team against you or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, all this talk about Call of Duty and the man, the myth, the legend has entered the chat, and Wise Choice Money, and he basically owns us all. So we can talk all we want, but the man has arrived.
It doesn't take much to own me, so... Say, I got a question. Can you play Call of Duty? Does it have cross-platform capabilities? I don't play. I haven't played in a long time. I'll put it that way. I used to be a Battlefield guy, but I only do PC gaming. Do they have cross-platform?
I play through Battle.net.
Yeah. Okay.
On my
cool.
PC. So.
Yeah, I play on PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah,
my son has got PlayStation.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Fowler, have you got? Oh, sorry, just asking. Fowler, have you got a new graphics card then? Because you're having a few problems with the old one. So you're like super fast now, are you?
Oh yeah, I snuck and got one. Not too long ago, man. Yeah, about like a couple months ago, I was like, you know what, man. All this stuff's been going down. I need me some fun, and I got it right. I think it's an older card, but it's a nice one. Hold on, I gotta find the model number because I don't. It's a NVIDIA. I'm not a NVIDIA guy, so I don't really remember. I read all the stuff in NVIDIA, but I've enjoyed it. I could definitely tell performance wise, this thing is like ripping, roaring, ready to play a game. But yeah, I'm set. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready for all this Cosmic Force sent to me with Unity, man, with Unreal Engine. I'm ready.
Yeah. No. Dude, we're gonna be playing all night and then calling out sick the next day from work. I gotta play. I don't feel so good. So, one more. Hey, we have a awesome drop by Mr. none other than Bobby Mix with an amazing super chat. Thank you, buddy. I really, really appreciate it. You guys remember Bobby? He went to Dubai with us. Yeah. And he says, when launch,
a better beard than the Greek.
Yeah. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks to all of you for providing honest and concise information. Let's meet up in Dubai again. Absolutely. Bobby and I talk about the trip to Dubai like all the freaking time. Oh, when we go back, we're going to do this. When we go back, we're going to do that. And I'm not going to suck again at walking on my hands in Dubai. Next time I'm bringing some gloves.
walking on the street with your hands,
Yeah. Greek is right about. I was like, Greek's got a real good beard. Then I saw your buddy, and I was like, oh, okay.
Bobby
Greek
puts everybody to shame.
Yeah,
his beard is so freaking epic. And when we were in Dubai, I mean, he had been growing it, but it was somewhat trimmed. But now it's way epic.
Yeah, he's a legend, really cool. Dude. I mean, people talk about him in the beard area. I hear it every once in a while. People are like, "But you're not Bobby." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
No, you're not. If I tried to grow a beard like that, it would not turn out well. So
yeah, I'm too.
He's the good-looking one. Yeah. No, thanks again, buddy. I really appreciate that. I do hope we all get together again somewhere, whether it's Dubai or elsewhere, and have another epic adventure. Because that, oh man, I got to tell. And hey, Hey, Greek, recognize this shirt? Remember this shirt? You got the black one, didn't you?
Remember? Yeah, I got the black one, and
Burj
spilled some mustard on it the first time I wore it.
Yes.
Now it's got stains.
I remember I was walking on my hands on the broken glass thing or whatever, and then some people come over that were also tourists, like, "Oh, can we get a picture? Can we get a picture?" I'm like, "Oh, you want a picture of the glass?" I'm like, "No."
It was everywhere.
Well, I wasn't wearing this stupid wig, so I mean, at least it was me, But yeah, that was an epic adventure. And you know what? Voldemort was there, and of course that was a big reason we went. But you guys may have noticed I have edited my intro 5-minute countdown. I've removed some elements and added others, but I'm never going to remove the Dubai stuff because that was the adventure of a lifetime. And made some new friends, Matt and Steve, and it was a good time.
Was a little crazy
because Butthead was there and screwed things up months and months later doesn't mean we still don't have a good time that we had, because we did. I mean, shoot, I remember we were sitting in what was it, Cafe Beirut. Remember we were sitting there and I was sitting next to Matt and he's taking pictures of everything. You remember when I got that? What was it? My dessert was the
massive milkshake thing.
Yeah, that massive milkshake with the cotton candy balls
huge
on it.
Did you go clown? It was the clown milkshake.
It was. It was a clown milkshake.
I felt like some people were like, they had a long days, right? And I got the camera out and felt like a little bit like people getting tired of this camera business, even though we came along to film the actual stuff, and it's funny how you're saying like that we had the whole trip and, we're with do not say his name, Voldemort, right? But at the same time, like, the group is so big that we found ourselves not really talking that much with him as much,
we were on a separate table anyway, weren't we? We were on a separate table. And you were a giant milkshake bigger than your head.
Yeah.
And boy, did it taste good.
For the whole, just for the whole thing. But speaking of something funny, I was sitting next to you at that Beirut, making non-stop jokes, eh? And I wonder if Bobby...
You were laughing half.
I just wonder if Bobby also was getting frustrated with the non-stop ridiculous jokes I was saying to him at whatever other place, And you just must have seen his face, like he must have been so tired of this non-stop ridiculous dad jokes.
No, Bobby loved you. He thought you were hilarious. Yeah. He wasn't sitting with us at the cool kids table, though. Remember, he was sitting behind you at the other table with Voldemort.
Yeah, he was with Voldemort.
Yeah, I don't know where Matt gets the dad jokes. He must get them from somewhere, but
I wonder where he gets them from.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so we had a post from. I'll get to this before I forget because I'm old and I forget crap. Vulcan chat, main chat. Nick Caliani is now on a plane to Washington, D.C. to do some family time for the rest of the week. So he's going to be kind of in and out. But he did post something this morning. Let's see if I can pull it up. Might not be easy to read, but I'll kind of sum through it. So for those that haven't had a chance, if you go to Vulcan chat, I believe it was pinned as well. Nick gave us a quick update from the airport while he was getting ready to board his flight. And I'll just kind of sum up. He said that the rebasing worksheet for Vulcan now, and of course, Vulcan is with an asterisk because the name will be changing, as we may all know, but we'll call it Vulcan until otherwise. But the rebasing worksheet now has a tab with vesting. This should enable you to calculate vesting with and without boosters. It's a beta worksheet. Again, it's a beta worksheet. It has not been tested and will likely provide incorrect values for very large holdings or large numbers of boosters. And then he leaves the link with a tiny URL. So you can read the rest of it on your own. But yeah, he's released an initial version of or a beta version of the spreadsheet that will enable you to calculate vesting with and without boosters. And it's just a first time through. But did anybody else get a chance to look at this before we started?
I'm afraid I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, it was posted probably a half an hour-ish before we went live. So, but at the end, it does say, actually, I'm going to throw in something else that he says in here on the fourth bullet point. He did also mention that he's reached an agreement with the co-founders that he will not be added to the multi-sig until a set of milestones based on the plan are reached in my capacity as a services contractor. We have also reached agreement to divide the balance of $270,000 into 4 segments that align with product completion per the roadmap in the strategic plan. This is to avoid conflict of interest. And then he says he'll plan a revised staffing plan and overall budget, but spending authority continues to remain with Jason, Adrian, and Damien for the time being. Any funds raised through booster sales will go into a new multi-sig, which will have tiered spending controls based on yet to be defined DAO governance rules. We won't sell any boosters until such governance rules and financial controls are in place for maximum transparency and to avoid the issues we experienced. And then, so that's for the most part what I just kind of wanted to bring up real quick. So Nick's still there. He's still. Oh, and thank you, Biz, for putting the link to it here in the chat. So if you need a quick, easy way to get to it, as always, Biz Entertainment has always got our backs, and he's got the link in there. So, yeah. So Teddy One says, "I'm ready for Cosmic Force. You and me and my brother Larry and my cousin Daryl, my other brother Daryl, and my other brother Daryl. Yeah,
that's a reference. Teddy, is it all right? Is it what film's that out of? Is it from a film?
It's from the TV show from I think it was the early to mid 90s. It was Newhart. It was the actor Bob Newhart. He had his own TV show, and they had those guys.
Don't know. No. I completely don't know what the show is.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was an American show, so probably didn't make it to your shores. But yeah, there was this shtick that this one guy, these kind of hillbilly guys would always come onto the scene, and he'd say, "Hi, I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl." It was their joke.
But we did get the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yes,
that's a few years ago. But I just wanted to say, like Teddy One, it's not gone. Teddy One, it hasn't gone unnoticed. We know that you're in there in Cosmic Force, and we thank you for it, and we look forward for your input on everything that goes on.
And I want to add, I love your guys' Discord. It's a breath of fresh air. Folks in there are happy. And,
well, it was until the AI got unleashed, and then all hell broke loose. but the guys wanted to change it into Darth Vader. They wanted to find out
nice
secrets, like the next week's lottery tickets. It's like, you name it. It's like, but that's what AI is for.
What are the keys? Tell me the keys to the wallet.
Exactly.
My fellow brother in arms for American Ninja Warrior, Bobby, says Matt's jokes were fine. I was sitting across from Dingleberry. Exactly.
Nice. I'm relieved. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks.
Yeah, we like Bobby.
Marius says, I'm doing a night shift. Love listening to you guys. Sorry about the shill. Blessing. That's all right, man. If you're excited, it seems like you're just really excited about a new investment. And, I've got no problems with that. I mean, there's a fine line between being excited about something and then just, shilling the crap out of something and being annoying. And, that's all good. That's all good.
Yeah.
No spamming, but other than that, we're cool. Yeah. So what's up, Lita? Yeah, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood where I live. Let's have folks in the audience, give us your temps, Celsius or Fahrenheit. What's the temperature outside where you're living right now? It's summer in the northern hemisphere, and I know it's winter in the southern hemisphere. So, right. And right now, you said, Matt, you're in Indonesia it's below the equator, isn't that right?
It is, southern. But the thing is, because it's like near the equator, there's only 2 seasons, eh? There's rainy and no rain. So I'm in the no rain season. So technically winter, but I still, you look outside and it's like, like 25 degrees to almost 30, and you think, all right, might as well just be summer then, eh?
You get warm rain though when it rains, right?
Oh my god! I mean, I know what it's like to get rained on in Florida, eh? there's no real difference between that. It's like, shower time outside,
It's so humid, isn't it, in Florida? In Florida, it's so humid
goodness.
when it's hot. It's like,
especially in front of a grill, it's ridiculous. With this beard, it's just pure sweat.
It's like we've got a reporter on the ground, and over to the reporter on the ground, live.
Yeah. We go live to. We're going live to Florida with the Greek DeFi guru. Greek, what's it like where you're at?
Beautiful.
Oh yeah. You're making me hungry again. We had a family reunion this last weekend, and I had lots of nieces and nephews, grandnieces and nephews, my grandbabies, my kids, all 5 kids, and their families together. We had a big cookout, a really great get together. Not something we get to do very often in my family. Everybody's all over the place. So family.
That sounds really good, man.
Yeah. And Greek, you're with your family, right?
Yeah, they own the timeshare. I just sneak in a room.
Nice. That's really cool. Send me a private DM with that address when we're done so that I can go there next time.
I will.
So Steve's saying it's 32.
NR is like an hour away from me right now, and he won't even visit me. He refuses. Let it be publicly known. Kidding.
You can't say that you don't really know why.
He's a Disney.
So 30.
You can't.
32 in the Canaries, huh?
Yeah. So that's it. So even though we're in the UK time zone and it's only a very short air flight back to the UK, we are actually based in the Canaries here. So we're DeFi. You can live anywhere. So
yeah,
should I say? Should I said degens? We're degens, is what we are. So.
And our family's like decentralized,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
We're becoming more and more decentralized. Yeah.
You should be the first family of DeFi, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
By the way,
go ahead.
No, I was my guess for that was actually my guess for Fowler's
68
graphics cards.
Go back.
Yeah.
2000 series for his graphics card. Fit what a 2080 Ti.
Yeah. Those are still really venerable cards.
Hey,
I'm surprised at how good they are.
Yeah, this thing is a champ. I looked at it on the top list. It's still on the 25th out of all the cards are still available right now.
Exactly. I think the TI range. I think that's got the edge. I'm sure.
I wanted to get a TI version of my 3080, but I have to say they were so hard to get your hands on for so long, and the miners were snatching them up left and right, driving the price through the roof. So I was like, oh, I got a 3080. My 3080, I have 2 of them, and they're barn burners. I love them. I can't throw anything at them they can't handle yet. So, and one of them is the regular air cooled, and then the other is I have a hybrid one, they call it, from EVGA, and it's a liquid cooled version. So it runs very, very, very well. What's up, Brian?
Hey,
what's going on? I try to stay as long as I can with my crappy work Wi-Fi.
I was gonna say the work day's over and you just got paid.
This is messed up.
Nope. Right on, man. Well, I'm glad you're able to drop in for a minute. That's cool, man. How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Can't complain.
It's nice that you can switch over to daytime hours instead of working the graveyard.
I know.
Yeah, better family life too. You get to see the wife and your son, and everything gets better when you're back on days. Yeah, weekends. I'm saying that because I think you and I have talked before. I did graveyard for years, and I absolutely hated it. My body never adjusted, and I'm still kind of screwed up. And it's been 12 years since I worked my last graveyard shift, and I still have a hard time getting to sleep on my own, where I never did before I did graveyard. So I hope that doesn't ever happen to you. But it's all the more reason that why all of us in here, if you're watching this stream, most likely you're an investor of some kind, whether it's crypto or the stock market or something. You're trying to get ahead. You want to, do better for your family and yourself, and try to give yourself a little bit of an edge, out there in life. Because life is freaking expensive. It is ridiculous how expensive things continue to get year after year. And it doesn't really matter what country you are in the world. You know, it's just things keep getting more and more expensive. Gas right now in Washington State, where I live in the Seattle area, is at $5.25 a gallon as of yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah. We're one of the three. Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I went to test drive it. I went to test drive a Tesla over the weekend.
Oh, right on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm going like,
about it, huh?
I'm going at the moment. I'm going like, how many liters are in a gallon? Like, you talk all different.
Wow. Yeah, I know. But we have to start learning my metric stuff.
Yeah.
Man, we're getting temperatures all over the place here in the U.S. 68 in Chicago, 91 in Charlotte, 61 in San Francisco. One of my favorite places, by the way. I used to love living down there, so that's really cool.
Cold.
Yeah. Well, you know, though, that's kind of, I mean, when I lived in Berkeley and in Monterey, and at different times in the 80s and in the 70s and the 90s, 80s, 90s. And I liked Monterey, which was pretty similar to San Francisco. It's only like a 2-hour drive south. You know, at this time of the morning, which right now it's 9:57 a.m. on Tuesday, you know, it might be in the upper 60s, low 70s, and maybe get into the upper 70s, low to mid 80s during the day, and then kind of cool off. And it was like that most of the year. And it rained like once every couple of months, just a little bit. You'd have a little fog in the morning and in the evening, but it was sunny almost every day, and I loved it. I like the whole area around there. 94 in Louisiana. Holy crap. Plus, you have the humidity, so you're probably similar temperatures, if not identical to what Greek's dealing with there just next door in Florida.
Yeah, because I'm in Georgia, and it's like 100 here.
Dang. So it feels like temperature about another 10 Fahrenheit or so above the actual temp?
I don't know. It's hot. I know that.
And you heard it first, folks. It's hot in Georgia. Yeah. Marius says Australia 2:50 a.m. about 20 C. So it's cooled off quite a bit. Well, that's nice, but that's because it's early a.m. So I'm sure it'll get super hot again. Heck yeah. And Shadow X. What's that?
And it's winter as well in Australia, right?
Yeah, because they're southern hemisphere. So yeah. Dang. Well, I'll take their winter over my summer any day because their winter is still warmer than my summer. Shadow X, I believe you're referring to, the 2080 Ti that Fowler has. It's very power hungry. Well, shoot, they're all power hungry. I have a 1200 watt PSU power supply unit in my computer, which still hasn't even come close to being tapped. I think the most, and that's with my 3080 being run as hard as I can make it go, and everything else. I have high-end everything in my rig, and I still never can get over 500 watts pulled out of that thing. So I've got room for a lot more. But yeah, they do. They suck a lot of juice. And continues to say I've got many 3080s and 3090s. Well,
that sounds like a miner.
You are lucky. Yeah, sounds like a miner.
Mine some Bitcoin.
Yeah. And Teddy One says it's 93 Fahrenheit. Man,
nice.
Yeah, it's definitely summer. In 2 months, we'll have to revisit this question again and see where we're at. And everybody's gonna be like 30, 25, 20 below freezing.
It's gonna be the bear market.
Yeah. Wise choice money, 102 with humidity. You must be in the South also, I'm going to guess, if you're here in the U.S. That's my assumption. But Tartan Madman.
He's in Louisiana.
Oh, he's in Louisiana? Okay. All right. Tartan Madman says only 16 C in Scotland. Wow.
Scotland,
that's a little chilly. Yeah.
Wow, 16 degrees in Scotland's perfect, man.
Is it?
I know it. Get him to answer the question of how was 16? How does it feel? You know, and I bet you it's gonna be like, it's pure brilliant, mate.
Yeah.
Basking
walk around in shorts and a tank top, or shirtless or something kind of weather.
Jumping in the sea over there.
The Scottish will say, "Taps off, weather, man. Taps off."
No winter in central Queensland, huh? Always warm? I'm assuming you mean it's always warm or always hot. John says weather is nice in New Mexico. If it gets too hot, I can be at 9,000 feet elevation. I think that's pretty cool about New Mexico. I like it. I've only been to Albuquerque, but I did a ninja competition actually with Bobby, and we didn't know who each other were that year. We met each other the year after, I think it was, but we competed against each other, and he kicked my ass. But he almost always beats me. I get lucky once in a while, and I beat him, but he's definitely better than I am on the average. And we were in Albuquerque, and we were at elevation, and a lot of folks were like, "Well, I'm out of breath," and it was like 102, 103 Fahrenheit the entire weekend. It was hot. It was really hot. And it was the dry heat, right? So you're drinking water left and right, just chugging that water, and you don't have to go to the bathroom because it's that freaking hot. And I just remember I didn't feel winded. It didn't seem to bother me. But some folks said, there's some elevation there. And it's nice because, you can get up to 9,000 feet elevation, like John's saying, and then you can cool off. It's kind of cool. Let's see here. Rickness says, if I were to play and a first-person shooter with y'all, I would be the guy throwing a grenade at his feet and getting sniped all the time. Well, you know what? If I have to do it, if I have to go toe-to-toe, I'm the same kind of guy. But when I was playing Battlefield, I used to play Battlefield a lot through most of the different versions that they came out with. And I got rather good at being a sniper. I'm not good at toe-to-toe, but boy, can I snipe your ass from a very long distance.
That sounds like my style. That's my style.
Yeah.
It's a bit more like being the coward. As soon as I run out, that's it. I'm dead, Yeah.
Hey, Steve, they didn't see that one coming. Nope, they sure did, Nody.
We could make a sniper team.
Yeah, there we go. We'll be Sniper Team 6. There you go, right there. The old guys. 93 in Austin. That is Texas. Texas has humidity, doesn't it? Or is it just like the coast? Or is it all? Does Texas have humidity inland, like as far up north as like the border with Oklahoma? Or is it more of a dry heat there? Does anybody know?
I would think it's like a dry heat unless you're like on the coast somewhere.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. I've only been to Dallas, and it was for a short period of time, so I can't say that I know anything about Texas. So, and there it is, cat's out of the bag. Yeah. Well, you got some very
full-time miner, nice full-time, full-time. Wow,
dang!
You must be making some dough.
Really now. I mean, we did mining for quite a while, didn't we, Matt? And then
that was full time.
Yeah, we've got quite a few graphics cards. It's a shame like Fowler wasn't closer to us because we could have sorted out with a graphics card, but it's a bit difficult posting anything around the world. It's just crazy. Man. But so we've got a few. They're not redundant. They're just sort of like sat waiting for rendering jobs. So we use them mainly for rendering now. But it'd be interesting to know what mining you can still do with your graphics cards. That's a good question. So like to know that.
I actually almost got. I started mining with my 3080, my first 3080, and I was making like $300 a month, and I was in one of those groups that you work together, and then it gives you your piece, your cut, and so that was cool. But then I started getting into, looking more into the other side, into the crypto investing. And then I started talking to Bobby, who'd been doing it for a long time. And so I got a lot of good advice for, how to get started in the crypto investing world with Bobby. And then I started looking at, maybe I'll go back to doing some mining. And I thought, I'll check out this ASICs thing. And holy crap, I was like, these things are expensive as all hell.
Oh, yeah.
You could donate your left nut and your right arm, and it still costs $10,000, bro.
And then what happens if the protocol or the actual what's built into the ASIC becomes redundant? It's like you can't reprogram it to really do anything else. It's like it's end of life, And go on.
I was gonna say the ASICs, you kind of bound to the algorithm that is programmed for. It kind of sucks, But but when they the sucky part is that, but when you have one and you get on something new, man, you just rip it up.
Yeah. But
because I remember
it's like you said though.
Yeah, we were looking into them, and as a next step sort of thing, and then and there's one particular model, I forgot what it was, and it was just getting delayed from coming out, and it's like by the time it comes out, there's only going to be like 8 months that it's usable, because things are going to be changing, and we're talking about Ethereum and that, and then obviously Ethereum did do the big change. So I'm glad we didn't go down that line.
Yeah, we just didn't know when Ethereum was going to stop. It stopped like a year and a half later than what we thought it was going to stop. So we're looking at these ASIC stuff. It's like we need to get them. Was it like 4 gig? What was it? What was the limit? We were trying to have like a limit to future-proof it. But I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, but then everything changed as well, and then it's like looking like, could it be repurposed, all that kind of stuff, and then it's like no, and then when things changed over on Ethereum, we decided, all right, that's it. Let's rest up on the mining now, especially like when you're in a place where it can be hot anyway. So you're spending money like with your electric for your miners, plus you're spending money for the aircon to try and cool it all down. In the winter, fantastic. You don't need any heating. That's for sure. I'm sure Shadow X knows all about like warming your house up with the mining.
And Shadow X is adding to that. A lot of altcoins are mineable, but I mine Flux on my GPUs. Oh, okay. And my ASICs are all Bitcoin. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. I used to follow a guy when I was looking into the ASICs, like we're talking about, getting in, buying some, and then finding out, it's a little out of my price range for buying a bunch of those. But I followed a guy who was quite successful, and he put out daily videos on his mining. He mined multiple different coins, but mostly it was the blue chip stuff. And he had just, this entire massive rack of ASICs for Bitcoin.
And is that Voscoin?
I think Voscoin. And I seem to recall he did this one video, maybe it was about 2 years ago, roughly, because I haven't watched him for a while, but he met up with another ASICs mining guy, and it was Voscoin. Thank you. And this guy had an even bigger setup than Vos did, and it had this solar farm and everything, and it was 100% off the grid. And I'm thinking, how long are you going to have to mine to break even on the investment? But it was still really cool. Yeah. It was this older retired guy.
I don't know if you watched. I don't know if you still watch Voscoin, but he actually has a solar farm now.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
the mining.
He must have got that idea from.
Yeah, he's a bit under, but he's working on it.
Wow, that guy is just crazy. I think he's fun.
He mines everything
for a while, but he's crazy, man. I remember seeing some of his
helium miners, everything.
Yeah, I think that's where I got the idea of helium when I went ahead and I bought my helium miner, and then that was when the supply chain stuff started in 2020, early 2020, and 6 months later, and I was like the 400th person to buy or something like that, and I was still. It was going to take forever and ever and ever, and I finally was able to just say, "Hey, just give me my refund," because I was never going to get the darn thing. And I think it was almost a year later that that people.
I did the same thing. I got my refund, and he still ended up sending me the miner.
Oh wow, that's cool. And now I wish I had it, but so it is what it is. And I didn't know if it was going to go anywhere, and it looks like it's really taken off. They were right on the edge, I think, of not doing. It was going to maybe not even go anywhere. And the thing with the 5G capabilities, also with the newer ones, being able to build basically a decentralized cellular network, I thought that was a cool idea too. And so. That's a cool project. I'm hoping I can get back into that. But if I buy another one, I hope I can get the damn thing, a lot sooner than never. We have a question here from Jaco. He asked, "Hey, I apologize if you guys already went over this. I'm in and out of your live stream. So what's your thoughts on Nick not having access to the multi-sig wallet?" And that's pertaining to this that I was reading earlier. The post that Nick had put up there. So, and I'll just kind of reread that one part, I think, that he's asking the question about. So he reached an agreement, Nick reached an agreement with the co-founders that he will not be added to the multi-sig until a set of milestones based on the plan are reached in my capacity as a services contractor. We have also reached agreement to divide the balance of $270,000 into 4 segments that align with product completion per the roadmap in the strategic plan. This is to avoid conflict of interest. And then he'll plan a revised staffing plan and overall budget, but spending authority continues to remain with Jason, Adrian, and Damien. So I believe that's what he was referring to. I personally, right now, I'm personally okay with it based on what he wrote there. And I'm part of it is because he seems to be okay with it. He's not complaining about it. And, he needs to hit a certain milestones or, check off some boxes, if you will, to be able to do it. It doesn't bother me. I don't know. Maybe not everybody will agree with me. Any other thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I think that hitting milestones and everything like that, I think, are important. The only thing I'd say is I just wish this was resolved a little earlier. That's it. I mean, and that's not really that bad, but at the same time, it's one of those things that I was thinking that that once the vote was done, that's what they'd be doing. But I mean, we don't see everything behind the scenes, and there may be there's always more to the story. So who knows? But like you said, Nick doesn't seem to be upset about it, and I can see the request from the remaining founders as being reasonable. I mean, I don't. It's not like they're like, yeah, Jason called me a jerk, and they're fighting about it. They're just, hey, you got to do this, this, and this. It's not like I mean, I think it's smart, but it is disconcerting because I hope that they would have had that resolved. But hey,
I can't disagree, Chris. I would like to have seen this sooner. However, my additional thought on that is more or less the amount of the workload that Nick is doing is unreal, and so I'm being patient, and I think a good thing or something that helps. My words aren't coming to me as eloquently as I would like, but I like the fact that Nick is so transparent. That helps make me rest at a lot more ease. He's constantly giving us updates, and they're helpful to know. I mean, he doesn't put out any fluff. I think we could all agree on that one. Nick is not about fluff. He likes to get to the freaking point and give you the information that you need to know. And so I feel comfortable with everything I've seen so far with Nick. And, I would like to have seen that this was taken care of earlier, but he also has a big, he has a lot on his plate. September 1st is right around the corner. It's just over 2 weeks plus or minus from now. And that's the goal, to launch the new blockchain and release candidate 1. So,
well, and another thing to think about out of this too is we haven't heard from Jason and Adrian and Damien. So, and this is just an assumption, but from the statement that Nick put out and everything like that, it seems like they're working together, and to me, the way it's presented, they're working together for the betterment of the blockchain. So, okay. We don't know the ins and outs of Jason may need, Jason may be like, okay, we need to get a few things cleared up, and you got to hit these milestones before we feel comfortable that, maybe it has to do with that. Maybe Adrian, Dane, all three of them are like, look, we got all this stuff going on, so hit this, this, and this. Once we get that, we'll feel comfortable with the 270 payment, plan, all that kind of stuff, and the multi-sig, so we don't hear from them, but it seems like they're working together. I mean, that's the way I see it. So.
Yeah, that's the way I see it too. And everybody has their opinions and their feelings, and everybody's are valid. Absolutely. And if at any point you think that I don't feel that way, I just want to make sure I clarify that I have my opinion. And if you don't agree with it, that's perfectly fine. It's fine. Well, this is my stream today, though, so I'm always right.
Yes. I'll tell you what, though, Odie, it does seems like any plan from now is better than the plans that have been, So so far, it seems like it's reasonable. And you know, 2 weeks, that's crazy. 2 weeks for it to really come out. I'll believe it until we see it, eh?
Yeah, true enough. We got to see the ride.
2 weeks away. 2 weeks away, but it never come.
Yeah, because the rate that it was going, right, to add to what you were saying, Matt, I mean, it was going nowhere really fast, right? First, it was going to be January 20th. Then what was it? It was going to be March, I think. And then June, the end of second quarter. And, you know I clearly remember multiple times on lives in, June, people saying, hey, I don't think we're going to launch. We haven't seen a launch date yet. And I would say, well, we haven't seen that we're not going to launch. And to me, it made sense, as I think it would to most reasonable folks. It would make sense that if you're within 30 days of a blockchain that you said was going to launch, or a project of some sort, and you don't think it's going to, you would know by then whether or not a month ahead you were going to be able to launch on time. And of course, we didn't know. We weren't told until the last minute. And yeah, that pissed everybody, including me, way the hell off. I mean, it's like, you don't treat people like that. This isn't like, this isn't like something where, okay, let's say it was a game, but not your guys' game, just like a regular game, right? And you're not investing in it. You just want to buy it, right? You just want to buy it, download it, install it, and play it. That's a different kind of pissed off. It's like, oh man, XYZ, video game isn't going to be out for another 6 months. They ran into a problem. That's one kind of pissed off, but it's not the same. You have our money. You have our freaking money that we gave you in good faith back in, November, December, October, November, and December. And it's totally different. But now we have a path that's been forged.
So you feel like Nick is trying as much as he can to be as transparent as he can,
Yeah.
And
I think that's a good way to say it.
And this last statement that he gives, there's a little bit of ambiguity there, in my opinion, on the multi-sig, in that one different angle to look at it is, like there could be a case of Nick doesn't want to be on the multi-sig until there's certain things tied up and finished that have been, from his point of view, that should be finished or should be taken care of, like all the loose ends, and then there's a clean slate to then jump forward. Is a possibility. I mean, maybe it is more the other way, but if it's more the other way, that suggests that the power isn't with Nick yet, and it needs to be, if Nick has been chosen as the leader for what's going forward, he needs to be given the power to take that lead, I think, and that's just me talking out loud. It's as you say, it's only my opinion, but I do like the way that Nick is approaching the situation. I know there's people out there that say, oh, like Jason shouldn't be involved, or let's just say like whoever is the team before, they're still involved. Clearly they are, and there's loose ends that have to be tied up, and we don't know what them loose ends are. There could be other announcements later down the line when Nick does actually take the reins and have the authority to be able to do things. That's just my opinion, not legal advice.
Oh no, I like where you go with it, because you're echoing a lot of the way I feel about it. I don't think things are rosy and perfect yet. So don't get me wrong out there, folks. I don't think it's perfect. I like the way it's going, though. Chris, Steve, I agree. We and Matt said, we have a direction now. Before it was really just kind of, it felt like it was all over the place, and a lot of that had to do with Voldemort and he was really good at misdirection, but making you feel good about it and not knowing that you're really
I think it's hard. It's hard because it's like I can see, like I was saying, they're working together and everything like that. Then I'm also like, I don't want them working together. I want Nick. I want Nick to be in charge. He's making, like Steve was saying, he's in charge and he does it and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm like, well, I don't know. I get all points of view. I can agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can literally be like, I saw a comment in there saying that someone's upset about Jason being on there. I can understand that. Yeah, I can. Yeah. Okay. And then I can be like, well, they're working together. Oh, I can understand that too. So it's like, man, I am like, but I do agree. I think that this stuff needs to be addressed, and I just wish they would do it sooner than later. And I was hoping that this part would be done, but they got to get it together, and they got to get on board with Nick's plan, or if Nick's got to alter his plan or change it around a little bit or whatever, okay. But Nick, we voted for Nick. Let's get the ball rolling. And but this is all not knowing things behind the scenes. So
yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure there, isn't there, for Nick and that, So I hope that he takes it in his stride. And the pressure really comes if you're wanting to do something but you're not able, So he needs to be able to do what he needs to do, So that's the way I think about it. And the team the team that he puts behind him, it's not just the team that's directly there on the front line doing the work. It's us guys as well, So if we're behind as a community as well, then that's got to help him a lot. To be able to do what he needs to do, So one step at a time. Let's hope everything works out.
Yeah, and again, everybody has their feelings about everything to do with Nick joining, the three remaining co-founders still being there, and there's a lot of emotion because money is tied to this. It's really hard to separate that.
A lot.
I've had a very hard time at times separating my emotion from this investment, and how I felt some things were unfair, how some things, how a lot of it went down, and how we, our hands ended up being tied. And, those of us that sacrificed a little or a lot or a medium, whatever amount you've sacrificed, that money's tied up for a while, right?
Well,
and some folks wanted to get some of their money out or all of it out when it launched. Everybody has a right to, want to do whatever they wanted to do. I personally, I didn't want to dump my bag. I wanted to get out about 20% when it launched. That was my plan. There were some fun things that I wanted to do with that money, but I wanted to keep 80% in there because I wanted it to keep rebasing and, and then just take the interest, if you will, after, monthly. But, I wanted to get like 20% out, take care of some things. Am I going to be able to pay my bills? If I never got a dime back from this blockchain and this investment, I'm fine. I can pay my bills tomorrow. It doesn't. None of this depends on that, which is the way that it should be. And hopefully, there's nobody out there right now that's listening that is in that position where you put all your eggs in that basket, and I hope there's nobody that is in that position. And if you are, it's my hope, and I think everybody up here, obviously, we all want this thing to succeed. I kind of look at it this way. I like metaphors. I have a picture in my mind of Nick being Nick and walking into this crap storm and saying, "Oh my God." And like picture a big freaking warehouse that just has all kinds of crap piled up to the ceiling. And he needs to get this also. You by yourself need to get this. Well, okay, you have your team. He has his team. He and his team have to sort out this immense amount of garbage to get to the diamonds at the, that are hidden. And you have to do one, pull things out, get a schedule, get a plan. And, it's not going to be fast enough for all of us. I wish it was yesterday, but I guess, I'm rambling on, but I think you guys all get what I'm trying to get at.
I think that there's some, we have a couple of comments that I think that I feel very, I kind of feel this way. I'm not saying that I'm moving away from the Vulcan blockchain and all that kind of stuff. There is so much stuff going on, and the information is coming from Nick, and I'm hoping that everything is good and everything works out. I really do. But first comment here is just it in the back of my mind. I don't know, but what Shadow X is saying here, I can kind of feel that. So I'm just concerned about certain things, and I just was hoping that they would be resolved by now. But then Teddy One brings up this is that I've noticed that more and more with me that I have gotten excited about Cosmic Force. I'm excited about F3 Warriors, the NFTs that Fowler's doing. I'm getting so much more excited about like branching out in other areas that it's not that I'm done with Vulcan or what it's going to be, but I'm just like, there's so many questions. I just don't really want to deal with it right now. I just want come out, tell me what's going on, give me the facts, and because it's one of those things. It's like they could put out something tomorrow, and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm excited. And then or later today, and I'd be like, oh no.
Yeah, Chris. Like you think what now is the unique part about the Vulcan blockchain? What's the unique part?
Well, I think that if it turns into some type of creator's blockchain, but
I think that's a good move.
Yeah, that would be pretty exciting and pretty fun. But what kind of utility is that? I mean, is it going to be? But at the same time, I can see Nick's vision, but I can also I just have this problem where I feel is that I'm not saying Nick's wrong. I'm just saying there seems to be a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And I'm not saying that Nick's plan is bad. I'm just saying that I wish we just knew everything, like just everything. We knew everything and we're good, but I don't see any flaws with Nick's plan or anything. I think it's really great how he interacts and they go back and forth and stuff. But it's one of those things that I just don't trust anybody 100% all the time. And I'd like to see maybe a few things that aren't positive, maybe like, oh, okay, I see that. But just when it's always positive, I kind of feel like I'm missing something, but who knows?
No, I agree. I don't have 100% trust right now, but they're building trust in me based on what I'm seeing. So I'm kind of this mind.
Yeah.
So far, so good. If that's, and I think that kind of echoes what you're feeling too, for the most part, Chris. I'm not, hey, this thing is going to be over the moon and everything. That's in the rear view mirror right now. It just needs to launch, and then hopefully slowly but surely it'll start, rising, and we'll have
Teddy
some
One is
success.
speaking facts, because I'll tell you right now that the whole thing I talked about, everything I was talking about comes back to one thing. If this was to happen, I think I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm fine. But he says, I feel once we become a corporation, things will move and powers will shift. And I think that, that is probably the most profound statement of today, other than the fact that he's waiting for, he's excited about Vulcan blockchain. Or cosmic blockchain. But it is true. I mean, I think that would be like, whoa, okay. Now we have something tangible, but we'll see.
So I'll tell you where we are with things, because in the beginning we're same as everybody else. We're private investors in Vulcan. We sacrificed, or we did everything like that, and then because of Cosmic Force, we're going to be releasing the game lock, stock, and barrel on Vulcan. So we don't really do anything, and then we think, oh right, it's going to take longer and longer for Vulcan to launch. So we decide, all right, we're going to launch first on Binance, and then also the actual token, the Cosmic Force token. We decide, right, well, we're going to start raising the funds for Cosmic Force token, and we're going to launch that on Vulcan, with liquidity on Vulcan. And so along the line, Uxie is announced, and Uxie sacrifice happens, and it's like, okay, right, with a chance now to get some Uxie token, which can help with liquidity. And we're just thankful that it was a decision. Let's just do some, like, a private investment on Uxie. We didn't use any Cosmic Force funds for doing that, and I'm really glad we didn't. Because we could have done. We could have gone, right. Let's use 50% of what we've got. Let's put it in there, and let's go. Let's really build up the liquidity that's going to happen. And so we're glad that we didn't. And so So what it's been for us, and it's same for every investor, it's a completely moving target. It moves and moves and moves and moves, and what we need now is some stability that what is said happens, and we know that it's not a moving target, and then you can go outside and enjoy the sunshine and have an ice cream, because you know things are happening, and they're happening in the way that they're planned as well, you know. And then once we know what's happening, if Vulcan, whatever it's called, is a creative space, and it's got room for companies and businesses like F3 Warriors, because I want to hear more on this show about F3 Warriors, by the way, you know. But you know, if it is a creative space for the NFTs, for music, for art, then I think, yeah, that's great, because now there's a target. We know what we're aiming for, and we know how it's going to be branded, you know, everything around it, you know. And this is like how we work with Cosmic Force. We know what our brand is. We know what we know what we're doing. We hopefully know what we're doing, but we're building up a brand, and we're building up the investors that first of all are the investors that are into crypto, but also into gaming. And then as time goes on, we're going to be expanding outwards on the marketing, and we're going to attract more and more actual direct gamers, you know, and that's part of our strategy. So we know what the targets are, you know, we know where the goals are, and hopefully the people that are involved with what we're doing, they can see what we're laying out in front of us, and that's what we need for Vulcan, you know. So speech over.
No, but I think it's great. I mean, I think it's awesome, and you brought up one thing in that your whole statement was that the F3 Warriors, man.
Exactly. That's what we're waiting for.
Fowler, you have the floor.
Hold on, Fowler. Can I say anything about what happened yesterday and that I participated in, or is that?
Go ahead, because you know
you guys won't even believe it.
And I'll say it myself, just so everybody just be forewarned. I don't think it's any. It's not a secret, but Chris Cruz is part of the core team of Guys in Gaming.
Nice.
So,
yes, round of applause for that one.
So what that entails is that
nice.
Chris will be testing. You know, when I develop stuff, Chris does test things, and yesterday he got to test his first thing that I've developed. So, and that was the NFT marketplace. The marketplace is complete now that Chris Cruz has signed off on it. He signed off with the first purchase of the NFT pack. Yep. Crazy enough, he got the one that he initially said that, oh yeah, I like this one. It wasn't the one, not the purple one right there. He didn't get that one.
Not the purple one.
But he got this one that we were like joking around with, and he was like, I kind of like this one. He ended up getting that one in his first pack. It was funny. But
now, just for full disclosure, I had to pay for it. So
yeah, he had to pay for it.
I didn't get free.
He didn't get this free. Yeah.
Nothing's free.
No freeloading, huh?
Yeah, no discount, no nothing. He paid that.
No
he paid
no
that.
friend discount?
What? Well, yeah, he actually paid the actual price that we're gonna have to do the starter pack. The starter pack on.
It'd have to be a proper test, yeah. It'd have to be a proper test of the marketplace.
There should be no extra, no give me's, no wink wink. No, it is what it is. Buy it if you like it. Great.
Yeah, when it comes to F3 Warriors, this is for me. This is the beginning. I've been saying I wanted to put a product out for Guys of Gaming. Initially, it was really just building Guys of Gaming, but then with everything that's been going on and stuff, and the Vulcan community, I pretty much was like, hey, let me do something that's is going to be a utility, because what I'm seeing around the community is a lot of things that just did not have any type of utility. And it just, and I'm not talking about the developing community, I'm talking about just the crypto community in general, is that, with gaming projects and everything, that, they come out with a token, and then the token is there for the community. The community invests in the gaming token. It does well for a while, but then people start to realize, well, either two things are happening. They don't have a complete utility that ends up, working for the project itself, which provides the revenue, or it's end up just being the investors are the revenue. So once the investors end up running out of revenue to provide, then the token dries up. That I do not want. That's one thing I've learned through all my crypto journey, is that something has to power the project. It cannot be just investors. Investors get the project going, and then after that, you should have something developed. Should have something developed that's going to provide revenue, whether it's NFTs, whether you've developed an app that is I don't know, for kids to play, and then that revenue is generated back to the project itself, which ends up benefiting the holders of the tokens. You know, those are the type of things that you need in a project. If you don't have those things, it's going to be really hard for you to keep a community going, unless your community is made out of millionaires. So unless those are the guys, which in my case, that would be, at that point, you're just a VC. Those are VCs at that point. So, you know, so with this F3 Warriors, it came about was like, okay, I need to create this utility. So I ended up saying, you know what, let me start the groundwork, the building blocks for a game that I would want to develop, right? Like, I was like, where do I see myself in 1-2 years? Well, I know I want to develop a game. I want, whether it's a mobile game, console game, tabletop game, doesn't matter. It's some type of game. It's a game that's going to have something I brought from my imagination that I can build around, that can start off as a story that can build into a game, whether it's a mobile game, but then also it can be expansive for years to come. And that's where I came up with F3 Warriors, which is pretty much Fowler's Warriors, right? So I kind of like base these warriors off of pretty much like how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm in a battle. Like, I feel like in crypto, I feel like I'm in a battle. And it's, it's all types of warriors out there, some bad, some good, right? And, you kind of can tell if you look at some of the work, some are look cool, kind of heroish. And then some are that look like, evil, So there will be a good versus evil. There'll be, a story behind, all these warriors. And what's going to end up happening is, what I hope is that I do have the chance to develop a game which will end up on multiple chains like Cosmic Force blockchain, the guys of gaming blockchain that will come. Guys, it's always been a purpose to guys of gaming. Guys of gaming will be a gaming platform. So guys of gaming will, F3 Warriors will be something that will be, not exclusively just on guys in gaming, but it will be built upon guys in gaming. And that's going to be its first utility. And then there will be more utilities to come, because there's more different collections of NFTs, which are like the gods of gaming, gods. So we're talking the Zeuses, the Hades, those things that will be coming, and those will have their own portion or part in another game, or potentially you might see those NFTs kind of find their way floating into F3 Warriors. And these characters from these NFTs can also find their ways in other partnerships, like with Cosmic Force. You never know. You see some F3 Warriors running around on some planet or in Cosmic Force.
We're gonna have some weird things running around the planets, Don't you worry. These aren't weird, by the way. These aren't weird. These are fantastic. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're not. No, they're not. They're not.
No,
weird.
not weird. They're awesome.
I like the depth on these, Fowler.
Well, just so that you know, these are mine.
Yeah, so those are Chris.
They're yours.
Yeah.
There's over right now. Currently, there's currently about 300 warriors. I have right now 300 unique like variants. There's 300 unique variants right now. Only starting off, there will probably be only 30 variants starting off in the starter packs. So that's just to kind of get things rolling, but not kind of oversaturating the community before the rest of the community comes. So there's going to be a lot of warriors for people to feel like, once you get your warrior that you like, you can be like, hey, I think I like this more than anybody else out there. There's going to be people like that going to be discarding NFT just because they may not like the art. Who knows? I used to do it with Pokemon. Pokemon, I was like, I don't like this Pokemon. I don't even like what's it, Snorlax. But there's somebody out there that would love a Snorlax, right? Like, and they'll trade you that Snorlax card. So what's really cool also with the F3 Warriors, just to let everybody know, if you haven't heard, that the first season of these cards, these NFTs, they will have revenue sharing properties for those NFTs. So you will be getting, if you own these NFTs and you're hodling these NFTs, you can stack up on revenue share with these NFTs as well, which will be airdropped after 30 days. They will be collecting 2% of the royalties into a revenue sharing pool, and that will be able to be accessed 30 days through airdrop. So it's automatic. You do not have to claim. So everybody who's holding those NFTs will get dropped whatever chain that these NFTs are on, because we will be multi-chain, but the stable coins of those multi-chains will be airdropped to you to the wallets that they sit in. So, just letting you guys know, there's more than just collecting the NFTs. There's also some revenue sharing, but it's only for season 1. So this is definitely for the early investors who want to get in. Definitely take part into the season 1 of these NFT collections, and just watch our growth, because we're gonna get out there. It's getting nice. I'm getting a lot of chatter about the F3 Warriors actually, so I'm actually really excited. Starting today, for sure.
Dude, those are freaking insanely cool looking. Yeah. I love the depth,
I forgot to say
level of detail.
I forgot to say this really quick, Odie, because I know people are going to ask. They're going to be like, well, when can we get them? When can we get them? Okay, so here's the thing really quick, guys, so I make sure this is publicly known. I'm a person that only likes to release things when they're done. Okay, so when I know they're done, that's when I give a date. Because I'm not going to be the guy like, oh, no, it didn't work. Oh, wait, we got to pull it back. No, I'm not going to pull back on anybody. I want you guys when I give you a date, you be ready for that date. Know that things are going to hit that date. The only way I'm not going to be able to release something is literally the network itself has an issue, which I cannot control. But before that, I'm going to make sure that it's ready to go. But as far as a date, I can tell you right now, I will have a date for you this week. Okay, that's how things are moving. Just like I said, Chris tested the NFT marketplace. He gave me the thumbs up. He said everything is smooth. I tested it. Also even had the separate developers tested as well, and everything's looking great on that end. Right now, I'm still working on the main website for Guys of Gaming to make sure it's up to date with F3 Warriors and everything that's going to be current with Guys of Gaming. And also, I need to also release the white paper. That will be done within this week, maybe within the next 3 days. After those 3 days, I will definitely, once I drop that white paper, the date of the release will be set then. And all I can say is, guys, if you have not joined the Guys of Gaming Discord, you need to join that now. Also, I'll be posting a link. If Biz is not in there, I'm going to post a link to the Guys of Gaming website where you'll see the landing page. You can also sign up for notifications on the Guys of Gaming website as well. So, guys, make sure your notifications on. You don't want to miss out on this. I'm not going to say that things are going to get sold out or anything like that, because that's one thing you don't have to worry about with the NFTs, guys. You don't have to worry about the price rising up on you, and you're like, oh man, I could have got in at lower if I've been here an hour earlier or something. No. But what you want to do is you definitely want to stack up on these bad boys as many as you possibly can. So I'm not going to sit here and say that there's no demand. There will be demand.
Fowler, is the price that we have that's on the, is that gonna that what the starter pack price is gonna be?
Yeah, so that what you paid is definitely that's going to be the starter pack price,
and that was 0.052 BNB.
Yeah, I think yesterday it was about like $12 or something like that.
Wow.
Okay.
That's for the starter pack, and then when you open it, you get two of the NFTs, and then
Yeah. So you say you got the season 1 and 2% revenue share, yeah?
Well, it's the 2%. It's 2% of the royalties will be going to the revenue sharing pool. But as far as the actual individual cards, they're going to have individual revenue share percentage on each of the NFTs. So we have a common rarity, which will have revenue sharing, but it will be the lowest of all revenue shares of the rarities. Yeah. And then we also have an elite, right? That will have a step up on the revenue share. But then we also have legendaries. Legendaries won't be coming in the first run of the cards. One, you won't have the ability to get legendaries in a starter pack. You're gonna have to wait for the next packs to come out. But the packs themselves, the legendary, the elite, and focused on the elite and legendary packs, those won't come till after our first release, so a couple weeks after, just to make sure things are going. I want to, I don't want to allow, I want early investors to make out, but I don't want to put everything in the first week and everybody's like, I grabbed everything, and then everyone comes after, it's like I don't have a chance to grab anything. So so kind of like testing it out and kind of like weaning it out almost.
Yeah, dude, it's a great idea, because we've had similar thoughts about these things before. It kind of in a different evolution of past game ideas, right? With this packs of stuff, because you're not quite sure which one you're gonna get, right? So that was interesting.
I think it's exciting. It's exciting.
And with the percentage that you get on the level that you get, is that perpetual, or will there be a time limit on that?
So it's not a time. So once you have these NFTs, the ones that have the revenue sharing, they'll be in the metadata. So it won't be like, which NFT has revenue share, which doesn't. The first season, they're going to be in the metadata. So once the first season is over, you'll know, because none of those NFTs afterwards that you bust open packs in season 2, they won't have that metadata. So that's just how we're going to just be able to, kind of differentiate the different different NFTs versus NFTs that have metadata that doesn't have revenue share. But as far as as far as the changing of the revenue share, it's pretty much going to be static. It's going to be static. It's not going to change. It's going to be across the board. We're not once season 1 is over and the revenue share is pulled from all cards, that doesn't mean that we're done doing revenue share at that point. We're not. The cards that have the revenue share, you will still get airdrops from day 1 to the day this project in, which is in crypto is never, and pretty much that's how it's going to run. But that won't mean that after season 1 we won't have NFTs that won't be able to get in that revenue share. It's just going to be a totally different card. We have these and it's funny, I'm glad I can announce this, but we're going to have minor cards. So actual, like if you see F3 minor, so if you look at these guys, they look like warriors. So there's a F3 minor, the guys look like miners. So cool. And that's those NFTs will have revenue sharing. They're literally going to be pretty much just revenue share. That's it. So, but I'm not going to say they're going to be cheap. Okay. But they're going to be, they're pretty much going to be there for people who want to, up their game in the revenue share. This will be the way to do it. Now, will they be in packs?
They're going to be the ASICs, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to be. They're going to be in packs. But I tell you one thing, they're going to be rarer than the legendaries. So so if you're trying to open up packs for them, if you get one, that is literally, you was lucky. You're one of the lucky ones, right? So but there will be opportunities to get the miners, but they will be more or less for fundraising purposes to get develop more things into the future.
Now you're talking my kind of turkey, miners. I like the industrial side of stuff. That's kind of what I gravitate.
And also I also want to throw this out here. There will be a burn mechanism for F3 warriors. So imagine, right? Because there's going to be a whole bunch of duplicate cards out there, right? So
you can't burn these guys. Look at them. Yeah. You can't burn them.
You don't want to burn them, but we might have to burn them. And what ends up happening, we'll have a mechanism there for a burning, evolution burning. So you'll be able to evolve your cards into, let's just say there's a legendary for the month that we say, hey, we're going to do this legendary card. You can only get this legendary card if you burn XYZ NFT. Okay, so you have to have XYZ NFT to get this legendary NFT. And it's only going to be, that's the only way you can get it, is if you burn it. And
so when you say XYZ, do you mean like 3 other? So if I let's say F3 warriors,
so let's say Chris, right? Chris has he has those 2 NFTs that he got busting open a pack, right? And let's just say there's another NFT that he needs to grab off in maybe in a rare pack that would come out later, right? It's an elite that go along with his common NFTs. So he finds that elite. Well, by him having those 3 combination of NFTs, he's able to get this legendary NFT, but he's sacrificing his other 3 that he had. And when I say sacrifice, that means burned, meaning it's going to be gone. He can't get them back. So he has to pretty much, if it's an emotional decision for him, if he's really tied to these NFTs, he has to make a decision. Does he really want this legendary card that there's going to be, and these legendary cards that you have to burn for, again, you can't get them in a pack. And there's a possibility we may not even put this legendary in a rotation ever again. So, and you never know what we're going to use that legendary for, right? So I'm not going to say what they're going to be used for because we haven't got to that point, but there's going to be special reasons to have for people to burn existing NFTs to grab an NFT that no one else can grab unless you burn them. So
wow.
What you're saying, Fowler, is you should buy a mass quantity of all of them just in case you might need them for something later on.
Oh, yeah, I see. The duplicates, that's what I was saying. The duplicates, you can trade them. You can
burn your doppelganger,
But you also, the people who have duplicates, I'm giving you a reason why to trade them, because people are going to want to burn these duplicates at some point. Now, then that gives value to even just common cards, because if you need a lot of these common cards to equate to this one legendary card for you to burn all these commons or commons and leaks to actually get this legendary, that's going to bring a lot of value to people who have been collecting a lot of duplicates or common NFTs.
Wow. I mean, I was going to say earlier when you're calling it season 1 and season 2, I'm looking forward to the Netflix series of these guys running around and saving the world and all that.
You never know, man. It could end up a cartoon or something. You never know.
They remind me of that Guardians of the Galaxy character Groot, but with armor on.
Ah, yeah.
Well, little baby Groot.
Yeah.
I am F3.
I do think, is it just me? But I think Fowler, he really does enjoy saying the word burn.
Oh yeah, I like the actual idea of getting rid of supply and making more demand, and it's not necessarily done artificially by a project owner. I don't want to control the supply. I want the community to control the supply. So if you guys like these legendaries, burn up those, what's qualified to the requirements to attain legendaries that will be, I would say, super rare. And it's not going to be, just some small amount. It'll be a decent amount of common cards that would need to be burned up in order for you to acquire, these legendary NFTs. So, I'm all about gamification. I'm definitely all about gamification, and I'm always looking to find a way to make not just me, but everyone profitable. And it's all about with NFTs. It's about making things valuable. And these NFTs, that's what you have to do. You have to give them value. And I believe that burning mechanisms and also giving the purpose to the NFTs will make that value. And we'll keep people engaged as well, because that's another thing is you need a community to stay engaged in your project in order for it to succeed and go for the long term.
So I do love the mechanism that you're talking about with, having 3 NFTs that become 1 NFT. And in this case, the mechanism is that they're burned, and it reminds me not to talk about Cosmic too much, but we have the cores that start out as a bit core. You can get 1 bit core. If you get 4 of the bit cores, they fuse together to become a plate core, So it's a similar mechanism, but what we decided is that we wouldn't burn the bit cores or the individual NFTs along the way. They would be put into the treasury to then be won as rewards in the game later down the line, because that's the way that we decided to work it, because it's just something that we worked on. But the actual mechanism of having different NFTs that become something new and exciting, it works. So we can talk through experience that it works, that people will do this because it's something that's enjoyable, that they've turned one item into a new item, and if the new item now has more value, then it's all part of the game, you know. So I absolutely love where you're going, and I love that your mojo is well and truly there, and you sound very, very passionate and excited about everything you're doing. So I love it.
No, yeah, I'm definitely excited, man. I definitely can't wait to see what the future holds.
We can't tell at all.
Yeah, we can't see you, but we know you've got the gigantic smile on your face.
You know. Yeah,
dude, he's like the Cheshire Cat. I mean, seriously, your animation there isn't doing you justice, Fowler. It should be like that.
I know it's reading.
And I just want to say
the quality
really,
as well.
I want to say really quick to OBZ. No, the purple ones aren't yours, buddy. They're mine. he snuck that in a little bit earlier, and don't think I didn't notice that, buddy.
Yeah. I was just going to say
that so serious, you know.
Yeah, the quality.
Make sure you go to the Gods of Gaming Discord server. Yeah. Make sure you are in it.
Let me get the links out there.
Heck yeah.
And the quality. Yeah, the quality that he's got there in you know, it's the super good quality, and I know I heard you talking on another show that these guys, they're going to be like within game, they're going to be like the 3D objects running around and doing everything. So when you buy the NFT, you're not just buying like a photograph or an image. You're buying what that entity is going forward. You know, the F3 Warrior, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's I really want the NFTs to really symbolize in the game, right? So when the game development comes, I will be thinking about all the NFTs that have been created that's out there in the game or in the NFT world at that moment. And I want people to be able to take their NFTs and literally see them on the screen, right? Like I want them to play the characters of their favorite NFTs that they've been holding. And then I would only think that it's just really a skin, right? Like the model itself is, you know, wires and in frame, right? But for the most part, it's making a 3D model of the NFTs that are available. And then pretty much those people just wallet connecting, sticking them on there, right? And I think that's where the value is going to be. I want that to also be a point where even if it became a mobile game, right? And you know, the cash shop, I want people who are in crypto world that have these NFTs to be able to put their skins or their NFTs onto a marketplace, which will interact with the mobile game, where people who may be playing the game from an app store on a mobile device can be like, hey, I like that skin. I want that skin. Can I purchase from this cash shop? And you purchasing it, and when you purchase it, it actually goes a kickback goes to people who own the NFT skin itself. So it's not just, you know, hey, I just take all the NFTs art that I've pretty much that have created up to this point and then put them in a cash shop. No, I want the people who hold the NFTs to be able to make some profit off what they've purchased maybe months to years ago, you know, a year ago or something like that. So I want them to be able to be not just profiting from the actual trading of the NFTs and stuff like that, or holding it for the revenue share. I want to give them more opportunity to place their NFTs on not just somewhere it's just only crypto people can see, but also when it comes to the mobile side, the mobile gaming side, or even the console gaming side, where they can place their NFTs on there and be able to sell their skin, their NFT, which would be a skin at that point. They can sell it right there to someone who doesn't even know anything about crypto. And that's where you can be like, oh, okay, I had all these duplicates, right? Remember those duplicates? Now you can sell those duplicate skins to people on a cash shop that's playing a game that has no clue about crypto. Again, I've always said that, you know, getting people to participate in crypto, it can't be open like that because they're never going to want to learn. You have to skin it where the crypto world and the traditional world can come together, but the traditional world doesn't have to necessarily know how to work the crypto world.
Yeah, I think it's just like a game server. You know, like you play these games, and in the background, there's all sorts of things going on. It's like, you know, how is it the guy running in front of me is he's in Australia and I'm in New Zealand or whatever, and we can shoot each other? It's like, how does that work? You don't need to know. You just need to play the game, you know, and that's what you're talking about. So in the background, you've got crypto going on. You don't need to know everything about it. Yeah.
Just shut up and shoot.
Shut up and shoot.
That's what Kryptonia would say, right? godsofgaming.games is the website. Thank you, Fowler, for putting that.
Definitely sign up. Get your notifications ready, because things about to change really fast. Really fast.
Yeah, and just one thing to say.
You even sleep. Oh, go ahead.
I know. I'm just going to say, like, just one thing to say. Yeah, I don't think he sleeps. I think, you know.
Oh, me? I'm a machine.
Anytime I put a DM up there, it's like, and I say, oh, so sorry for, like, I don't know what time it is in your zone. And it's like, no. You've got something to say, just, like, put it out there. But, yeah, I just wanted to make it official that we will be working together one way or another. I mean, we're working together already, just sharing ideas and thoughts, and you know, and you got the full support of Cosmic Force, and you know that. So as a team, we're right behind you.
Oh yeah, man, I appreciate that from you guys. Like, I know if I get into a technical bind, I know I can, like, I know where I can go. If I have a question of what, like, man, does this sound right? I know where I can go to get my technical answer. So it's not necessarily, I just don't, honestly, I sometimes want to stay out of you guys' way, because I know you guys are doing so much work with Cosmic Force, man. It's like, I'm learning on the fly and stuff like that, a lot of things, but a lot of stuff is like, the learning I'm doing is actually building me for the future. And every step that I go is like, oh man, I'm learning things, and I feel so accomplished after I learn and get it. And the NFT marketplace was something that I thought I was gonna have somebody else develop, but when I put it all together, and I sat there, and I all the problems and stuff that I ran into, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get through all these errors. And I did. I got through all the code. I made sure I did all of it. And I was like, you know what, at the end of it, I felt fantastic. I felt amazing. And Chris has been hearing me for this whole week. He's like, Fowler, shut up.
I was like, man, don't you need to go to bed or something?
Oh man, 3 in the morning. I'm like, Chris.
Well, we have to tell you one thing, right? Because we, in the background, we've been working on a marketplace, but as time's gone on, there's been a lot more different items, and thinking, how does it work, and do we have to have a location, and this and this and this, and maybe we're about 80% finished on the marketplace, but the one thing that we're not is finished, and we don't have the marketplace out there. So Fowler, you did it.
Yeah.
And can we talk about your marketplace, please? No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Somebody actually asked me for a modified code a couple days ago. I was like,
there you go.
I don't know. Maybe I give you a modified code. But yeah, it's definitely been it's been an adventure for me. Like a lot of people always say, when your Discord is quiet, like, I like it quiet, like, because I don't have to keep flipping back and forth saying, hey, answer. I'm not saying I don't want to answer questions. I love answering questions, but it's just like, I'm doing all the development. The person you're dealing with, when you're dealing with Fowler, that is the person who's doing most of this development starting off. I'm not going to say I'm gonna always be doing the development, but I am definitely putting in the work behind the screen for sure. And
I can't wait to see when it pays off for you, man.
Oh man,
it's gonna be so amazing.
The day I can be like Greek, man, where I can just like go to like Florida and just be sitting and doing my videos and stuff with a beach in the back. Man, I can't wait for that day, man. I'm like,
flipping some steaks.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you're done, Fowler. I got my NFTs, bud. I'm good.
No.
You know why Greek had to drop? His phone overheated because it's so hot outside. That's what he said. He said I had to go. My phone overheated.
He was balancing it above his barbecue, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Rookie mistake, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually, what's great is that, a lot of people, I got Chris, I got Greek, I got NR Legend, I got Biz Entertainment, I got these people on my core team. And I know for a fact any point in time that I need some type of support or some type of, separate thoughts or, ideas and stuff, or, hey, does this make sense? And I can always go to these guys and always get an answer. And I always feel like, I could trust them enough to give me the correct answer. I trust these guys. Like I really do. Like, I don't have them in my circle for no reason. I have them in my circle because I trust them enough and that they are skilled enough in life to help me with maybe some of the things I may not be that skilled with. A lot of the business stuff, I talk to Chris about, I can ask him questions. He'll be like, oh, this would make sense. And I'm like, man, that's great. Cause I have no clue about that. Cause I've never really had that in my life, but and that's great to have. That's what you want a team. Now, if, skill wise, I do it myself because I feel comfortable enough to, make sure, it's 100%. That's one thing I like doing is doing. If I can do it myself, if I can do it myself, I will do it because it's not really about, saving a buck. It's really not about that. It's a little bit about that, but it's not really about that, but it's really about gaining more experience and seeing if I can push myself to the limit. Because if I can keep pushing myself to, accomplish things that, maybe not seen myself doing not too long ago, then I know I can go further than even that where I'm at now. So, for me, sky's the limit, stars the limit, and I'm just out here on the ride just like everybody else. And everybody that comes in this community, again, you're helping building something that literally from the ground up. And where it goes is really about the community push. It's about who's here, who's helping, who's supporting. And and I'm gonna be out there. Chris knows I'm out here on X Spaces and stuff. I'm gonna start talking to more people, and people are gonna start seeing this stuff, man. And and I'm getting a lot of messages from people.
Oh yeah,
that are like really they've seen some of these tweets, and they're like kind of blown away. And I'm like, it's about to get kind of interesting.
I'm like, you need to talk to Fowler. That's Fowler stuff, man. I'm just the guy that gets I have the fun part. I get to look at all these different things and then get my NFTs rolling so nobody else can have them. OBZ or anything, whatever.
But I think from our point of view as well, like we've been working as a close knit team for quite a while, and like now's the time that we got some good mods on our team that we've worked with for quite a while, and we've built up some good trust. There's actually good trust building up with individual community members as well, over time, and one or two might offer that they know about IT or this, that, and the other, and it's really good.
Yeah,
and and recently we reached out to Odi because we I don't know, we just felt like we met him in Dubai. He's not a bad guy. Okay, he likes to wear the long hair and go a bit crazy every now and again, but underneath the surface, he's actually like pretty.
Let that die, please.
He hasn't put that out there in a while, man.
Yeah, he hasn't. You remember his, some of his first shows. He'd be like,
yeah, banging my head. Because you know what, I am a headbanger. I'm a headbanger outside of crypto. I mean, I love Iron Maiden, Crocus, Dokken. All the 80s. I love the hair metal bands from the era. That's when I was growing. Steve and I and Chris, we all three of us. That's our.
My first concert was Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, Dio!
First concert ever. I was like,
you're just a rainbow in the dark. Man. This is how I didn't even know who Dio was until he went out on his own. When he left, what was it, Sabbath? Yeah, he left. Yeah. He was in Sabbath, right?
Sabbath guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that, and I didn't know. And then I was like, "Who is this freaking Dio?" The artwork on his albums is legendary. Yeah. I mean, these days the youth don't understand what you're missing out on from the 70s, the 80s. The artwork on albums. Sometimes I wouldn't even know a group. I'd be going through the record store, going, nope, got it. And then you just pull out this record sleeve, and it's just got the most amazing artwork you have ever seen. And I'm like, I'm buying that album just because it looks cool.
Yeah.
You know,
that's exactly
it.
it.
They sucked.
That's why I'm getting into NFTs, because like I used to collect albums, used to collect comic books, used to collect baseball cards, and it's like, you know what, these NFTs are something I could get into.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, especially Fowler's. Dude, seriously, I'm not joking. Those are just amazing NFTs, because NFTs never have.
You know what's cool, Odie? Really quick, I want to cut you off real quick. But if you're looking at these behind me, like, you know, on my screen, the ones that are moving, you know, the animated backgrounds and stuff like that, this is actually legendary. That's what a legendary card will look like. Elites kind of have some animation, but it's very little compared to this. This is more high end. There's a lot more work went into the art and stuff like that. So this is more the legendary. We plan on having a higher tier than that at some point, but right now, these are what the legendary is going to look like. They're going to be nice.
Dude, they're bitching.
And they also actually might even have some music. Chris is
I didn't know if I could say that, because I was like, can you say that you have music on there? Because the ones you sent me, I'm like, it's like headbanging music.
Yeah,
I want to see one. I want to see one with a flying V just rocking out.
Oh yeah, instead of having armor on them, they start like using an instrument or something. That's cool.
Hey,
the Odie one.
That's a great idea, Odie. I'm jotting that down right now.
A whole series
with the blonde wig and everything. You know, the bandana. Hell yeah, man.
For Odie, they all got wigs on. And they got an on.
Rainbow with a talk. Oh yeah, man, all the way. Yeah, my kids, everybody makes fun of me because I'm my head's stuck in the 80s hair metal. That's what I listen to most of the time. I love other bands too. I mean, Journey's one of my all-time favorites. Just love that. I love all kinds of music, but I mean, if I have to have my
band that I can listen to like all the time, and I've been since the first time I listened to it, to if I went right now and I can listen to every single song all the way through, is Boston.
Yeah.
That album, I was like, I could listen to every single song when I was younger and when I'm older and all the time, and it's one of those ones that it's great.
And it's too bad they were never able to duplicate it because of something blew up.
Well, that's the problem, is that sometimes when people they kind of fizzle out and they just keep doing it, and you're like, man, I like their earlier music, and you know.
Yeah. That stuff's just classic in any era. I mean, and you got, you know, the Eagles. I love the Eagles. Being a kid,
Bon Jovi.
I remember Bon Jovi. Okay, I like early Bon Jovi all the way up.
Slippery When Wet.
Slippery When Wet. I liked New Jersey, and then he lost me after that. My wife is the biggest fan you've ever seen when it comes to Bon Jovi. I mean, yeah, she's been Bon Jovi all the way since before he was big, and I went to my only Bon Jovi concert, actually, I think it was about a decade ago. Yeah. So we went to it and it was fun, but he threw a lot of his newer material that's kind of sort of not like
mediocre. It's a bit more mediocre in it. You need it in your face, like 80s rock sort of thing, don't you?
Yeah. But it was still a fun show, but it wasn't what I expected. You know, my all-time favorite group is Kiss.
Oh yeah,
I know that's kind of goofy for some people.
Your tongue isn't long enough.
I know, right? when I in the 70s, when I was little, my sister is 3 years older than me, and she was buying all the albums and stuff. And then when she became a teenager, she bequeathed her entire Kiss collection to me, and I was just like, ah. So I was listening to him, and I remember I talked earlier that in the mid to late 70s, I lived in Berkeley, California. Well, Kiss was actually in their kabuki makeup, and they were doing an interview in downtown San Francisco, and the trolley car was going down, you know, the hill, ding, 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 ding. And I was losing my damn mind, telling my parents, begging them, please take us to downtown San Francisco. I want to meet Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley and Peter Criss and Ace Frehley. And they're like, if you lost your damn mind, I'm not taking you to San Francisco to see these hooligans, you know. Oh my God. Yeah. If I could meet him now, I would still, now I can do whatever I want, but yeah, that's one of my old time favorites, goofy as it was, but yeah. So, there's a good suggestion for Fowler. Warrior with a sword that turns into a flute.
Yeah, you got to do the Odie collection now. You got to have the spiky hair and a guitar or something.
Oh yeah, I actually, I could see the rock star thing. That like some a little bit of gothic in it. Kind of give us some rock star.
Little Dragon Slayer.
And
still had a special series.
And still had like the dagger eyes and stuff. I think that oh yeah, I can see that for sure.
Oh, Odie Warrior.
Might be able to do some
Odie Warrior.
There you go.
I think, heck, I could show you this. Let me show you guys this art actually, which is
cool. Yeah.
The reason why I'm like, that's such a great idea, because I actually just came up with something. I'm like, you know what? That would work. That would totally work with this. It's definitely with this new thing I've been thinking of. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna share it with you. Hold on 1 second.
See, I've never been, while you're pulling that up, I've never been excited about NFTs. They're always so, flat, boring. And so I've never understood why everybody gets so crazy out of their minds about NFTs. And I'm like, I know I'm older, but I am somewhat hip, and I just don't get it, because I look at these things. I go to, OpenSea, and I'm like, I don't get what the hell.
Well, you got to blame these two guys down here on that, because they're when I started looking at Cosmic Force, checking out the NFTs, the stuff that I was like, dude, what is this all about here? And then I started looking at what they had, and then Fowler, I was like, wait, you can actually own this? What are you talking about? And that's where the ball started rolling, and I'm like, and I can trade this? I can trade these. I can do this like baseball cards and stuff. And it opened the whole world for me. So the last 2 weeks, I've been kind of like checking out NFTs, art too. Art's pretty amazing.
Wow.
That's some of the art out there and everything. And Fowler did his art too. But then I started going on different Twitter accounts or Xbase or whatever, and then different YouTube channels checking out art. Look at that.
Ooh, that is cool. Oh yeah, Fowler.
Yeah,
it's
so
I like the little Game of Thrones. Chappy.
It's like a Cylon or something.
Yeah, so this is something like that.
There's an animation for you, Fowler.
that metal feeling, like almost like what's Mad Max? That's what Matt.
Like. There you go.
Dude, it looks like Lord of the Rings. Looks like Sauron.
Oh, that's a good point, Matt. It does. One NFT to rule them all.
And then the light at the front with the eyes, it's like V,
Vulcan, yeah. You got a little Vulcan creature there.
Well, no, don't say Vulcan. No, I meant V, the TV series,
Dude, V. Oh my God, now we're going back.
Yeah,
that was so corny. I bought that on DVD a couple years back, and it was corny even back in the 80s, but it was fun.
Yeah. And they used to eat mice or something, did they? Something weird. Yeah.
By the tail.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a goofy TV series.
Like Busy's always there. Like he's like extended family and team. He's just unofficially the extended team. So we need to bring him in the inner fold somehow. So you heard this first, Biz. We need to talk to you.
Yeah, Biz is famous though. He's a famous guy.
Oh God, he's famous. He is everywhere.
Yeah, he's a great person.
Yeah. I don't think he sleeps either. He and Fowler, they must be cut from the same cloth, because Biz is always out there. I don't know how he does.
Biz is a hard worker, man. Hard workers don't sleep. They don't sleep.
Get all the sleep you need when you're dead, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That quote was from Roadhouse, by the way, another cheesy 80s movie, 90s movie.
Roadhouse, yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze.
I guess they duplicated that quote when they had it in, what was it? Tomorrow Never Dies. Or no, Die Another Day. Yeah, with Pierce Brosnan. The main bad guy, he says, I can die when I'm, I can sleep when I'm dead.
Oh, yeah.
Copy it, But I'm kind of feeling like that right now, though.
Yeah, 2:30 in the morning.
What time is it for you? No, it must be 20 past 2, something like that.
Yeah, I gotta go because I gotta eat lunch, not because I gotta go to sleep. But I'm hungry.
You were hungry at the beginning. You were hungry at the beginning, Chris, were you not? It's like
I was sitting there the whole time. I was like,
oh, it's when Greek was doing the steaks.
Flipping the
I know
steaks.
it made it worse.
All right.
Oh, dude.
Look at that.
You're just making me lick my chops, man. I like the level of detail of the one on the right with the sword and the shading and everything. Dude.
Well, that would be like
just make them cute.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Is a sword. Yeah, look at that. Oh, is it a sword or a pole arm?
Well, no, I said it wrong. Yeah, that
the
can't.
sword is on the right. The pole arm would be the left.
Okay, yeah, I see it. I see it now. Oh yeah. So
when does it not become a sword though? Like when the hilt gets to a certain length? Is that?
Yeah, you can see it goes back behind his leg. On the one on the left.
Yeah. Interesting.
Excellent.
Oh, cool. You get one with the mace, cat nine tails. Man, you could go on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are wicked.
Man, this is not even 0.5% what's out
there.
This is the tip of the iceberg. You're just like whetting the appetite, aren't you? You know, you're just like, this is just the starter. This is like just the poppadoms before even the main curry that you could have. So
Valor's just a tease.
I'm talking about food now.
I think you might have a little bit of a rebellion going on here. You got some guy in the comments that's like. I don't know. He's like, give me one. He's not asking to say, give it to me. Give me one now.
That's direct.
Oh, it was a little cheese, but I still like it. I'll watch Roadhouse every couple of years. It was a fun movie. And I like the martial arts because, I taught martial arts for a long time. So, I like anything with that in it too.
And I like Patrick Swayze. Almost every movie he ever made and everything he did. I thought he was just a real good guy. And,
I even liked Ghost. And that's a sappy, sad movie. And I still liked that movie.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, to me, it's like Denzel Washington. I will literally watch anything that he makes. I don't care where it is. Someone could be like, it's the worst movie ever. And I'd be like, Denzel Washington. I was like, all right, I'll go see it. I'll be like, no, but I said it's a terrible movie. I'm going to go see it.
Yeah, because he's in it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
John Q, one of my favorite movies he ever did.
Yeah. Really everything he does is always like, it makes you think or it's good. He's such a good actor and he puts out good stuff. And I'm always a big fan of him. But I don't know how I get off on some of these subjects.
Are you a fan of his son, John David?
Do what?
Are you a fan of his son, John David Washington?
Oh, I was just gonna say, you're talking about Ballers, the TV show, because he was one of the main people in that show with The Rock, called Ballers, Ballers. It was on HBO, I think it was about 8 years ago.
When was that?
I remember that show. That was actually
that's a good show. I actually just binge watched it about a week or so.
It was on HBO though, but it just to me because this is the part that I had. The Rock was very popular with my kids. They were younger, and he was in all these G and PG movies. He was like the Tooth Fairy, and the single dad football player with the daughter, just all these good movies. And then he's on a show on HBO, and we had HBO. Turn it on, and the language and everything. And my kids, I was like, holy shit, I thought it was The Rock.
Yeah.
Turn it off. And I was like,
and
I can't watch it because I was shocked by it. Because of my kids. Me, I'd been like, oh, that's cool.
I get you.
But
yeah, I liked it. I thought it was kind of a fun take on an ex-NFL football player and
another good actor.
Investment. I thought it was a great show. It got a little graphic with some getting busy scenes and some other stuff, and there was a lot of colorful language. It was kind of like sort of like watching The Sopranos with the language part of it.
Yeah, it was a shock when you had kids. That's why I was like, oh, it's The Rock. You can watch it, sure.
Yeah, definitely not a kid's show. But yeah, John David Washington, to answer that, Matt, he was one of the main co-stars in that show.
Wow.
He played for the Miami Dolphins, I think, football team, and he got himself into trouble all the time and kept getting kicked out of the league and then brought back, and he did a great job. 5 seasons worth of acting that he did.
Wow. Well, I like him. He's carrying on his dad's name, so doing a pretty good job. I think there's something good about that, eh?
I wonder
is that a UK thing? I can't do that with my camera.
I think it's a father-son thing. I think that's
yeah. Well, guys, I think we'll start wrapping it up. We have
on that note,
bellies are growling. Folks that need to go to sleep, and others of us have to go to work. Damn it,
or eat lunch.
I need
eat lunch.
I need to eat dinner as well.
Eat dinner.
Tea,
okay.
Tea, later. Tea.
Yeah, later.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining me, Chris Cruzy, Fowler, Matt, and Steve from Cosmic Force. Make sure that you guys, make sure that you go to and join their Discords if you haven't already. The links are earlier in the live chat for both Cosmic Force with the Cosmic Blockchain. Thank you. And for Fowler's F3 Warriors and Gods of Gaming. So it's www.godsofgaming.games. And we also have www.cosmicforce.xyz. Please make sure you're part of those communities. And you know what? Life is good. Things have happened. We got here, we had a bumpy road to get here if you're part of the Vulcan community that's changed multiple times, but we're still here. And regardless of how things go, I think we've built ourselves a really strong, amazing community that sticks by each other through the good and the bad. And there's some amazing projects. If you've been watching this broadcast, there's some great things coming with Cosmic Force, Cosmic Blockchain, F3 Warriors, and so much more. So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and joining us. And it's important to know that things are going to keep changing. It won't always be something that we all agree on, but hopefully we can agree to disagree politely. If you're in the chats of the various Discords, please try to remember to be kind to each other. Doesn't mean you have to kiss each other's butts, but let's at least be civil. Some of the main chats get a little bit out of hand on some of in the Vulcan Discord. So I just like to see folks, having a good time, talking about your passion of crypto and whatever else that suits you. Be thankful for the opportunities you come across in life. Love hard on your family. And always remember, folks, chance favors the prepared mind.
Yeah.